disappointed in that performance on a lot of fronts. To be honest, we didn't do one thing very well today. I thought the first 18 minutes of the game, I thought our defense was pretty good. We did a good job of containing their penetration, and for the most part of that time, I thought we were defensively rebounding pretty well, which obviously is a big concern of ours right now. And then I think we cut it to 19-17, and they went on a 8-0 run to end the half. Give them credit that they're doing a good job using their size, using their strength in terms of that zone. They held Syracuse to 49 points and 36% from the field, I think, and did the same thing to North Carolina, and obviously even a little more so tonight against us. So, we got to get back on track and get back to practice tomorrow, and with whoever we got healthy at this particular point, go out there and they got to make sure that we compete at a much higher intensity level than we did today. And we got to shoot the ball better, got to move the ball better, and we just got to keep plugging away.
Ryan, I think one thing that stood out the first half was between Marcus and Daniel, only 4 shots and no baskets. That was really.
Yeah, again, those are, 2 of our key guys, obviously. We need Marcus to play much better, and we need Daniel to play much better. Especially with the situation we're in. Daniel's got to get more than 5 shots. When he gets the ball in the paint, we need him to be aggressive to score. I think hopefully he'll see that when we show it to him on the film, and he'll understand how important it is for him to get, the rest of the season. He should be getting 9 to 12, 13, 14 shots every single game.
Seems when he was aggressive, he was successful too.
I completely agree with you.
It seemed like even Miami defended well, but even when they weren't defending well, you guys had open shots.
Yeah, we've had some guys that just haven't shot the ball as well as obviously we would like, and so some of the times, and it's kind of a double-edged sword, they're hard to score on, which I think they've proven that. And then when you get open shots, you have to make them. And there was a couple even around the basket. You just, and you got to finish those. And, you don't know if it's because of the 2 possessions earlier where you didn't get a good look and you're out of rhythm or whatever the case might be. But that's, for us, that's where, at times, you've got to rely. We mentioned Daniel, but he with Trey as well. Those guys are seniors. Cam is a senior. Those guys got to, in those crucial times, got to step up and make some plays for us. And that's, a lot to put on them, but that's, those are the facts.
What were you trying to do against that zone, and what was preventing you from doing that?
Well, you try to get inside the zone and underneath the zone. So we threw the ball into the post, into Daniel and Cam. I thought we did, you got to get the ball in the post. You don't want to eliminate your post players just because they're in the zone. The one thing that we didn't do that you need to do a better job of is you need to dribble drive against that and attack some gaps. And the thing is, with attacking those gaps, there's a maturity piece there where you're driving that, and the next pass is probably not going to get the shot. But it's the one drive that leads to the second one and then the third. And then if you do that, you're able to get some offensive rebounds, even if you miss that first shot. And I thought you saw glimpses of that in the second half. I don't know how many offensive rebounds we had in the first half, but we ended up with 10. How many, Rod? What did we have in the first half? 2. So we did a much better job of the penetration and, leading to first and second drives, which then led to some offensive rebounds. When you don't have a great shooting team, when you play a zone, you got to get inside that zone. And when we did that, if we didn't score, at least we had a chance for an offensive rebound.
Manning was really good off the dribble in the second half.
Well, we had to get we got so stretched defensively because we were down. So now we started extending. And to be honest with you, we can't defend that way. I mean, it's just not our strength. to get Trey out there 30 feet away from the basket or Chris out there 30 feet away from the basket, that's not, where we're going to be successful. And then now you got, they run those multiple ball screens, and now Daniel's out that far away too.
Does not having Rob in the lineup, is that starting to hurt you defensively too?
Yeah, oh yeah. And you just look at the shooting percentages, and against even the good teams. But you had two guys that could protect the rim. So if Daniel is stretched out on a ball screen, you got Robert behind it, and vice versa. Plus Robert, although not the fleetest of foot, has a good basketball IQ and long arms, so he gets a lot of deflections, a lot of activity defensively. He's not Sidney Moncrief by any stretch, but he's pretty good defensively. So yeah, where it hurts though is on the rebounding. You're really starting to see that. Quentin plays 26 minutes, gets one defensive rebound. And it's not like the kid's trying, but he's in a tough matchup. And you saw what Miami did too. As soon as he came in the game, they went right with Donovan Kirk in the post. And he's got to grow up, man. It's hard. It's a little baptism under fire, but he's got to step up for us. He needs to play a little better too.
And of course, with the injuries, you're playing some players more minutes than they normally would have been playing under normal circumstances.
Yeah, again, we didn't obviously, and what Ken was getting to, execution-wise, we didn't execute as well as we need to. All right, so that means they weren't taught the proper execution. So that goes on me. I can't blame the players for that. At the same time, we can use we got 8 guys playing. That's it. So that we got to figure out a way. And guys got to be a little bit tougher, a little bit more disciplined, a little bit greater attention to detail, and at stretches on Tuesday night we played well. Obviously, last Saturday I thought we played well, and tonight we didn't. So it was the same team that played last Saturday. You know what I mean? And you gotta have a little greater grit, especially in this league.
Any progress with Jason since we talked on Tuesday?
Just the same. Hopefully he'll, with the exertion test, if that's the case, we're hoping to get him back on practice on Monday. Because even if he passes it today, which he's going to take it today, you still have to wait 24 hours after that. So. Well, with Boston College, their strength, obviously, in terms of their four-man, but, that their guards are tremendous, and they're really good off the bounce. So it's a much different team than Miami. You have to do a really good job of containing and challenging the three-point shot because they're a very good shooting team. I'm sure we'll probably, Notre Dame played us some zone, and we did well against it. We executed well against it, moved the ball, got some shots, did some good things. That's the biggest thing in terms of our consistency. It just hasn't been there, and there's some rational explanations, but at the same time, you have to be more consistent.
The grit you were talking about, did you get the sense that was kind of going away? Like, Miami came out so strong defensively, was challenging everything so much. Do you think the team kind of backed down a little bit, or was that really a problem from the start in terms of the intensity?
No, I mean, I don't think you can watch the first half and didn't say our guys weren't playing hard, if that's the question. I don't think that's ever, sometimes we don't play as aggressive as we need to play and so forth, but I don't think that's ever a question out there.
That was a real tough zone. It's tough to get, good looks, and if you did get a look, you had to knock it down. So it was, a pretty tough zone.
What did you see from the first half? It seemed like everything you tried was not going your way.
Just, I saw them kind of keying in on a couple plays that we have where maybe I got an open shot, or, I kind of heard Coach Larinaga, kind of telling them different things. So, it was tough. I mean, they scouted us really well. They're really long in their zone and active, so it clearly bothered us.
Could you say that the team was getting a little frustrated as the game went on just because you weren't making shots and it was just so tough to score against them?
Yeah, I mean, you always gonna be frustrated when you're at home and you're playing against a zone and you're not hitting shots because that's what you have to do against a zone. But I mean, we'll be all right, and it was just a tough night.
You guys are obviously missing a lot of key pieces on the team. Is it harder than maybe you expected it to be to sort of try to come together?
It's not harder. I think I was just talking about this. I think we kind of found our footing after Travis went down, and then we got to find our footing since Rob went down. And I think once we do, we'll be fine. Still a lot of season left, and anything can happen. I think my last 2 or 3 years at Tennessee, we didn't start the conference play well and ended well. Still had 20-win season, so there's a lot of basketball left. I told the guys keep their head up, and we'll be fine.
I guess to that end, after a loss like this and lose 2 in a row, do you feel like it's your kind of job as a captain and senior to just try to pull guys together and make sure everyone has their heads up, that sort of thing?
Yeah, definitely. Not even just being a captain, just being somebody, I'm optimistic and I'm always positive. So, you're going to have nights like these. You don't want to, but it's basketball. You're going to have nights where guys don't, knock shots down or, you kind of run into a wall. So, like I said, I told the guys we can't lose confidence in ourselves. We're a good team. We just got to figure out, right now what we need to do to be successful. And once we do that, we'll be fine.
Seems like in the second half, you guys got into a little rhythm, and things just died down. Was it the pressure that those guys put on you guys in terms of zone defense, or what was it that made you guys lose that rhythm late in the second half? You guys started to pick things up.
I wish I knew so we could have figured it out then, but I think the one thing Coach Gerger kept telling us was attack and, get out in transition. I think when we went on that run, that's what we did, and I think it died down because, when they score and they can get back in their zone, that's tough. So we got to obviously play better defense and get rebounds and get out. So, I know LeConte hit a few timely shots. Ryan, he hit a couple timely shots. So that kind of hurt us. And I think that's what happens when you go on a run and you're on the road, as Miami was, and they hit a shot that kind of, calms things down. So that's what happened.